Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the True Story News podcast. And I'm jumping on here because I want to keep things going on my platforms. There's a lot going on in my life, my personal life. And one of the things I want to make sure to do, which a lot of people should make sure to do, especially if they're into public speaking in any capacity or doing lives and videos, is to make sure that you share content when your spirit is right. When there's a lot going on in your personal life, you got to be careful not to leak some of your personal stuff into what you do. And I want to make sure that every time I'm speaking, I'm aligned, I'm balanced, and it's coming from a nice, pure place. Weeks prior, I was dealing with things. Close family member was hospitalized. You're dealing with people coming in, coming out of your life. There's personal things going on. So it's important to make sure that you're channeling things from a pure place and you're not leaking anything toxic, even though you're dealing with toxicity, making sure that you're not spewing it and spreading it. So with that said, there's a lot of things in the news, and I'll just jump into some random topics. And, part of the reason why I do this is because a lot of people, they watched legacy media and they wait for channels like mine and other truth channels to decode what it is they're seeing, because they know not to take it from them at face value, or they know that there's something else going on. And if I don't post in a while, people will hit you up, people will DM you, hey Drew, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about that? And it's like, man, you gotta comment on things just so people can feel validated that, they're not crazy, and there's other people who see what they see. With that said, what's in the news? I'm going off the cuff. What's a lot of what you're seeing in the news right now? I'm going to touch on as many pop topics as I can, and end with spirituality. I'm going to just talk about random things, what's going on in the news, and then I'm going to talk from a spiritual standpoint. Kanye, that's in the news a lot. And somebody mentioned that to me. What do I think about that? There's a lot going on there with the Kanye situation. There's a lot of news about Kanye being pumped at us and thrown at us. Why is that? Well, there's a reason for everything. There's a reason why they divert our attention to certain things or people. With the Kanye situation, there's a few agendas within agendas with that. And that's why certain people will never understand what's going on. This is chess. This is high level chess. And your average, normie is never going to catch up to anything going on, because unless they do some serious deep diving and spiritual awakening. And I don't see that happening for a lot of people, because they're hitting us left and right. It's going so fast that a lot of people are never going to be able to catch up. And they know that. They keep coming and throwing things at people and confusing people and distracting us. And distraction. That whole Kanye thing, a lot of that entails a lot of distraction. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now that they don't want you to know about, that they're doing right now. Take a look at what's going on in China. There's a lot of things that they're doing. There's a lot of things that celebrities that are guilty of. They're having lawsuits. There's things going on with celebrities that they don't want you talking about, including Kanye. So they're not going to discuss any of those things because that's under a protected, they're protecting certain topics because they don't want the public addressing things, knowing certain things. So these players in the world stage, like Kanye, they're involved with other stuff. They're very involved with other stuff. But because the things that they're involved with are connected to untouchables and other things going on, they're going to divert you from what's really going on with these guys. But aside from the usual distraction, okay, they're pumping you, they're hitting you over the head with Kanye, because they're distracting you from other things, in the world. And they want you talking about these celebrities. They want you talking about these celebrities and meaningless things. And while they're running so many agendas concurrently against you and I. But agendas within agendas. So there's an agenda for distraction. That's a lot of this Kanye talk is included with that. Also, another agenda that's running with that is people don't understand, but because they don't want to. And a lot of them just happen to be liberal people. I don't have a side. I really don't. To speak the truth, it's a lot of the people who are most dangerous in society today happen to be liberals, and they don't really know what's going on. But there's also a black male attack that is a lot of what legacy media serves to do. In 1971, they discovered COINTELPRO, and it was shocking. The world learned that the intelligence agencies were behind a lot of targeting, a lot of agendas, a lot of manipulating the news, a lot of targeting groups. One of those groups that were targeted, along with hippies, along with anti-war type folks, along with political activists, activists of all sorts. They did not like activists, but black people, period, because they were black. And there's a spiritual reason why this country is at odds with black people and will always, it's probably going to lead to its destruction. Make no mistake about that. Even Thomas Jefferson alluded to that, and he made commentary about that. You know, in terms of karma, America will not let those people go, and it's going to bring about their own catastrophic destruction. Because what they're doing behind the scenes, they're doing it with the food. They got into, matter of fact, a platform, Natural News, was talking about this. They are, I don't know if I want to say this on these platforms, but they're into RNA, GMO food. And they're figuring out ways to target specific groups of people, even racially. To affect fertility. They're doing also, these people are demonic and they're psychotic psychopaths, and they're about the end. They're violating natural law, universal law. They're coming to the end where we're very close to getting clipped. They're almost done. They're almost out, because there's, there's certain things that when you go too far, and they're nearing that, they have a whole system of evil. This whole system is evil, and they're reaching the peak of what their dark serves the light. You have the yin and yang, you have positive and negative. They're serving a purpose, believe it or not, in their evil, but they're reaching that point where they're going to get zapped out of here, because just bring it on. Let it be. But I digress. There's a lot of black male hate, and media serves the purpose of fanning the flames. It doesn't matter who it is. And you notice, without a break, there's always a black boogeyman that they prop up, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, The Baby, Dave Chappelle, Chris Brown. There's always someone that they're going to pivot to, and he happens to be black, and they're going to fan the flames. We're going back since OJ. They're going to fan the flames on the case. They're going to fan the flames. There's so many white perpetrators, more so, and guilty of worse. But this system is built to keep that under a bushel. It's a demonic system that's about to get punished severely, believe me. And all of this, what I'm saying, is going to come up to the point where it cannot be ignored anymore, even though we're living in a system that keeps us asleep on these issues. We're not going to be there anymore. We're going to be in an environment where it's all out in the open, and it's going to get dealt with karmically. But yeah, we live in this system that kind of hides certain transgressions and fans the flames on black males. And people know it subconsciously. They know it. Matter of fact, Jesse Smollett's brother, they seem to be like, something going on with that family that they're all a little touched, you know? And I say that as respectfully as I can, but I'm going off of what they're doing. You know, you have this, this man who concocted a story clearly, and his brother blamed black males. Because he's a product of this whacked out insane asylum that we live in. And he knows that, maybe he didn't even intend to do that viciously. He's a black male himself. I think he allegedly straight. I don't know. He's a black male himself, but he knows this system. He's a product of the system, and he knows that those words make as off and insane as his comments were. No, your brother's in hot water because it appears as though he concocted a story. Nobody's buying it. He blamed black males. You better believe, as insane and homophobia, as insane as that comment was, there's some liberal, white liberal women that are, yeah, he's right. We're dealing with this is an insane asylum. So yeah, Kanye being the boogeyman, they're fanning the flames. They were never really a friend to Kim Kardashian, but now they're trying to paint her as a victim, and she's noble, and she's dealing with this well. And Pete Davidson, they're trying to portray him as a good option, and he's just they're trying to lionize him when the reality of the situation, if you really want to talk facts, like as a young. She's not that young, but as a mother of young kids that just divorced a high profile male, and he's the father of your children, should you have gone as a serial dater? She's never really had a successful relationship. Should you have jumped into another relationship with a guy like 10, 15 years your junior, another high profile celebrity, when the father of the children that you have is online? Should you have done that? No. But we don't live in a society that holds women to any accountability. They just look at the male. If his black male is acting up, or, look at him, he's the villain. And this is the society that we live in. It's a demonic society. And if you tether yourself to this, there's karmic consequence for that. When you wake up, when you really vibrate up, you're going to see all this stuff, and you will, with wisdom, choose just not to participate with it. There's people, all these liberal people, they can't wait to jump online, and, America props up these black males to relieve itself of its disgusting, repulsive sins. To look at this guy. He's the bad guy. R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, they're the bad guys. You don't know what the hell is going on in Hollywood. You don't know what these rock artists have been doing to women, unconscious, inebriated, teenage, preteen girls at their concerts. But no, let's look at these guys. This is what America does. It is a satanic environment. And you tethering yourself to the system. Once you spiritually wake up, you can't unwake up. You can't once you realize the game, stop participating with it. Leaving Neverland came out. These two guys were liars, clear as day, but the liberals, abuse. Bill Cosby, that was the most ridiculous docuseries. There's no evidence. It was all just nonsense, emotion, opinion. And then the liberals come, abuse, I'm a survivor. Like, they're just wired to be the useful idiots of society. And they can't see the game. And once there's a black male targeted, here come the black male liberals, or the black liberals, to hide the institution of systematic racism that is designed, COINTELPRO. We've learned this in the 70s, that one of the COINTELPRO agendas is to keep black criminality in the forefront of the American consciousness. That is a fact, I'm telling you. It's not a conspiracy. Keep black criminality in the forefront of America's consciousness. That's why everything is overblown. Oh my God, you see what Chris Brown did to Rihanna? Sylvester Stallone beat the hell out of his sister so bad that the courts ordered him to pay her for her life, the rest of her life. John Lennon beat the hell out of, like, all these guys have done so much worse than Chris Brown. He was 19 years old. They were kids. And I think even Rihanna regretted it. Like, you know, when she was salty, she probably started the whole thing. But, a woman scorned when she's in her emotions, you know, when she's mad and they just had that fight. But I think after she saw what they did, she probably wanted to call off the dogs, but she couldn't. It was out of her hands at that point. Like, oh, Riri, they were all, you know, running to her defense when she didn't ask for their defense. They were just wild liberal dogs at that point, just chasing the next black boogeyman. So Kanye's getting a lot of that. Is he doing a lot? Yeah. Yeah, he's doing a lot. And I would not advise anyone to be so present on social media. I don't think it's a good idea. I try to stay off social media. I don't really reply to a lot of people. But I feel that for him, it's different. He's already in the public eye. He's already a public person. And that is his platform because he knows he's not going to get proper, he's not going to be, his things are going to be taken out of context in legacy media. They're going to make the story and the narrative that they want. They're going to chop up his words. They do demonic work. That's what they're here to do. It's controlled by corporate interests. It's controlled by racist, psychotic psychopaths who have agendas, and they have a design for everything and a narrative that they want to protect. And Kanye is going to be is caught in the being a black boogeyman, and they're gonna like, oh, I'm scared. What about Kim? Like, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. They're not looking at. There's a list. I'm not going to even drop their names. You can look it up. There's white male actors and people who are literally beating the hell out of their women. And they're actually doing the abuse. But Kanye, you know, this is getting old. This is America. Moving on, but like spiritually, we're all gonna, no matter what race you are, we're all gonna be, those who are tapped in, we're all gonna be vibrating out of this smut and the filth that is this environment. And it's gonna transcend race. When those that can vibrate up, we're gonna be, you know, and leave the people, you know, like rolling around like pigs in the mud. Also attached to the Kanye situation is, the social engineering. Pay attention to what they're doing to Russia. Pay attention to what they're doing to Kanye, where we're living in a world where the New World Order is right in front of your face. And they're trying to normalize getting, punished. It comes from the mindset of the Chinese, social credit system. They're framing this, they're shaping a new world for you where they can do things to you. They can digitally, they want you all AI. They can digitally, punish you, remove you from things, take your mouth, like silence you, censor you. You're not getting invited to this. We can freeze your account. We can do this. This is what they're normalizing. And it's abnormal. It is so degenerative. It is so, backwards. It is so evil, because the people that they want to convince you is the bad guy is not the bad guy. It's them. It is the liberal loudmouths that don't know how to shut the hell up, and they're too emotional, and they're ideologues. So they're not thinkers. They're the useful idiots, bringing about hell on earth with their censorship, with their, you know, unchecked emotions, with their, you know, their lunacy. They're the useful idiots, and they're bringing about censorship where the government can mandate things, where the government can tell you which pronouns to use, because this is the new thing. It's against science. These liberal banshees are destroying art, science, culture as we know it. They tried to cancel Michael Jackson because of two liars who the court already knew that they were liars, but they're just so emotional and they're not logical. And they're doing this to Kanye. They want to remove him from this. He's not invited to the Grammys. He's not doing this. They're going to take him, like Russia. They're showing you the new world. Okay, we're at war with these people. Or we don't like what they did. So we're going to remove this. We're going to take this. We're going to take Netflix and Spotify away from them. We're going to do this. This is the new world. And what we allow done to an entity, what we allow done to a celebrity, this is normalized. This is socially engineering you for it to be normal to be done to you when they decide that, you know what? You're the bad guy. And you allow it because they can play with your emotions and they can get you to believe anything. They can get you to believe anything. The Cosby situation that I kind of had a huge uptick in traffic because my videos on Cosby was nothing but the truth. They can, and I proved, they can make you believe anything. These people who believe Cosby is guilty of raping all these people, it's not based on any evidence, facts, logic, reason. It's pure lunacy and emotion and ridiculousness and ideology. Janice Dickinson slipped in there. Chloe Goins, a lifelong criminal prostitute, slipped in there in the lineup, and they got paid. They all got paid because this is what we're dealing with. And they made you believe anything. They can make you believe anything. And what they do is they use their platforms, like with these black boogeymen, Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. The law wasn't on their side. Even R. Kelly, who was the guiltiest of all of them, they still arrested him without a crime. He wasn't. They got him for racketeering. They made it up. What they do is they affect the populace because they know they don't think much of us. They don't think much of the people. They view us all as stupid idiots, and they make puppet shows for us. Look how bad Bill Cosby is. Look how bad Michael Jackson is. Look how bad R. Kelly is. Even though R. Kelly, as he's the worst one of the ones I mentioned, Michael Jackson's innocent. Bill Cosby's innocent. He was railroaded. I mean, well, he committed adultery, but that's as far as it goes. Drugging and raping, they made it all up. They're liars. And, but they can get you emotionally. They can make these movies. He's the bad guy. And it's so psychotic and evil because they want to manipulate you to think of someone as just bad. When there's so many dimensions to who we are as people, we are not the worst things we've ever done, but they can make a picture that, oh, this guy's an evil villain. Bill Cosby, they did it too. That everything about him is bad. He's evil and conniving. And the people and the populace, they know that they're so dumb that they can just get pelted over the head with enough documentaries and enough bad press. And then their brain is switched off. Bill Cosby is the next thing to Satan himself in the mind of the wild, mindless liberal. And his family doesn't matter anymore. His friends don't matter anymore. The people who think he's innocent don't matter anymore because they work you down and they can crush your humanity and ability to think and reason and to be a high vibrational, reasonable person. And they make you think you're in a position to judge. Who are you to point a finger at anybody and say that's the bad guy? Like when you dig up, D.L. Hughley cheating on his wife, he did all these things, but he gets online to talk about Kanye. Like, I hate this culture where men are talking like 16-year-old girls. Like, well, why don't you mind your business? And we have this chatty, culture of, coming from the liberal side of the fence. You have all these public moralists that come out and point the finger at another man's business with his wife. And they're like, what is this? Trevor Noah coming out, the liberals, the black liberals, they have something to say. And D.L. Hughley is a repeat offender. People do not see who that guy is. It's amazing. He was pushing vaccines the other day, a few months ago. He was pushing anytime there's a black male, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, it doesn't matter who it is, here he comes. Do you have anything to say about the list of white accused? No, he never does. Woody Allen, does he have anything to say about Les Moonves? Yes, he never does. R. Kelly, yeah. Trevor Noah, I feel split about. Well, he's doing his job. This is people just don't know. They're never gonna wake up to that. Trevor Noah, I feel different about because I like him and I think he's a good person. He's a good guy, but he's conflicted, and I think he's smart, and he's kind of treading. He's caught in something. They picked him up early because they knew he was smart. They knew his comedy was cutting edge, and it made fun of, they caught a great talent early, and they pulled him into the liberal machine. And now he really can't speak. He can't be as funny as he wants to be. He can't be as clever as he wants to be. And he can't speak the truth that he probably is capable of, because they picked him ripe and early because they had plans for someone like him. He's biracial. He's clever. He's good. He's likable. And that's who they want to take and use for the forces of darkness. And that's what he's doing now, unfortunately. And I think that he speaks truth. He still does. He figures out a way to be diplomatic about things. But sometimes he does a lot of, things that he probably shouldn't do because he doesn't know. He's still young. He's still not an American yet. He still doesn't know the histories of things like I do, or, a foundational Black American may. He may not understand some of the things that he's doing because he's being propped up to do it. Talking publicly about the Kanye thing is one of those things. And I don't fault him the way I fault some of these pros at it. They're always out. They're always going to go Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and Michael Jackson. That's their job. They're agents. Trevor Noah is a little different, so I'm a little more patient with him. But, they know that Black Americans don't have code, and they don't follow code as they should because our community is disrupted and it's controlled by these corporate entities, and they're making these hashtags, and they're splitting us up into different groups. So LGBT, or this, you're that, you're a feminist, you're this. They just pull you, they warp people's mind with these ideologies, and they split us all up. And, there's people who told us, the solutions to things. Is, Neely Fuller, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, who told us the system is built on anti-Black male agendas. Stop participating. That means don't go sitting up there like, some people like jumped at it, Godfrey, and I like him too, but they just don't have the mind for chess. They don't. And, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and some of our elders say, stop playing the game, stop participating. They come out with a documentary. There's people lining up to participate in a R. Kelly, in a Bill Cosby, in a Michael. They're lining up to say something. Stop participating. It's simple as that. To get on code, it's not that difficult. It requires your mind, and to be spiritually high vibrational. To realize that the system is meant for certain things and there's an agenda, and you either play the game and participate with it, or choose to use your energy wiser and not throw your energy into systems of your own destruction. So yeah, there's a lot of social engineering with the Kanye thing. They want to make him the boogeyman, and they want to punish him with AI. They want to punish him by taking his Instagram down. They want to punish him with disinviting him places, deplatforming him places, to normalize this so that they can do it to you or anyone. And he actually speaks on that, and I actually applaud him. You can't censor. I forget what he said, but I agree with him. He's actually, they're not the good guys. The people who are moralizing, D.L. Hewley, and in this case, I have to include Trevor Noah, even though I like the guy, and other people public moralizing, and then Steve Harvey jumping in. None of those guys are the good guys. None of those guys. They should shut up. They should keep their mouth quiet. Like, when you see one of us dragged, it's going to be the baby. It's going to be Chappelle. It's going to be stop participating. They love to throw a mic in your face, and then they're just ready and willing to get on up and start tap dancing. Stop participating, have nothing to say. Learn the code that they have. Yeah. What else is going on? They're still trying to pump up zeal for the war in Ukraine, and Zelensky is not a hero. If you don't really see what's going on, I don't want to spend too much time on that. Zelensky, he was literally, we're so close to the days of idiocracy. Like, how closer can we get? Zelensky was literally an actor who produces movies. And one of the movies he was in was like an unlikely character becoming president. He's president of Ukraine. Where's the heavyweight champion of the world from? Where's, I can just go down, like, people, you're living in a matrix of make-believe. This is not real. It's not real. What else? Ketanji Brown, the newly sworn in, like, in order to enjoy and be happy with what everybody else is applauding, you seriously, we're in the days where you really, really, really have to dumb yourself down bad. You have to really dumb yourself down. People are celebrating, her. I mean, the game is so complex because there's villains on both sides of the fence. And, wherever your ideology falls, you can see the need for her defense. Excuse me, as a black female. You saw the resistance. You see the injustice against her. You see the double standards that she has to fight through. But you also see the careful selection of her. These carefully selected people, not just any black woman gets there. Not just any black person gets there. They're people who play the game. And so it's not really a victory. It's a victory in an illusionary way, in a semblance of some sort of inclusion. Optically, okay, yeah, it looks like, but she's still working in a system that is evil. And in the Hegelian dialectic, all these guys act the same. If you're coming in on the right, in order to get popular with more people, you got to move a little to the left a little bit. And if you come in from the left, you move into the right a little bit and you show the people that you're a little tough on crime, and these people do the same things. This is like a long running racket. Politics is a racket. It's people who are just still stuck vibrating in that world that just, don't want to wake up. So this is not a victory. If you're on the vibration where you want to see with your eyes some kind of inclusion, because she's a woman, she's black, or she's a black woman, or whatever combo works for you, well, congratulations. Did anything change? Not at all. Moving along. I guess that's it. I just wanted to touch base on different things and not be too gone away, because I'm living my life, and I hope everybody else is living their lives and learning and growing. And I'm learning and growing spiritually still. And we all need to do that. I'm learning lessons, learning how to keep ascending and getting rid of toxic energy, toxic things, toxic people, and vibrating up. And sometimes it's a painful process. Sometimes people show you who they are, and you got to be a vessel of love. You got to be a vessel of acceptance. I was having a conversation with someone about that, how difficult it is sometimes. People come in your life, people go, we are preparing for a new world. And there's a lot of us who are here to usher that new world in. And you have to learn how to be strong. You have to learn how to be tough. But balance that with being a source of love, unconditional love. You have to come from a higher place. And people sometimes come into your life and show you they're not there. They're not there. And everything is looked at as negative. Oh, you did this, so I'm going to do that. Case in point, sometimes you have to move past things and move beyond things and protect yourself. Be a source of love and a place where people can, that is being, for people of a Christian mindset, God, like Christ, like, God on earth, just being a source of love and forgiveness and understanding, but knowing when to protect yourself, knowing when to protect yourself. Sometimes decisions have to be made with people, having, when you have relationships and people in your life, knowing when you have to, be a source of love. And even if they're not doing that in return, it doesn't matter. Always be the higher minded person, but knowing when to protect yourself. Like, for example, if you have, a relationship, a friendship, and they come into town and they have 20 days in town, and they're there, and you're seeing in the pictures they're in your town, but they don't care to reach out, and then they're flying to another country, another place, and they didn't care to reach out. If you had a grievance or something, they don't care to resolve it. They just, well, you have the right to not be offensive, or not be retaliatory, or not to react, but you have the right to protect yourself, protect your energy. Like, you shouldn't do things in your emotions and your feelings, and to be aggressive, because that's going to be punished karmically. You're not going to get out of certain cycles and loops if you don't know how to get rid of that stuff. And sometimes you realize that some people are caught in bad cycles of abuse. People are abusing them. They keep abusing people, and they're in those cycles. And then when you're in your life, you got to step off. You got to step out of that and wish them the best and hope that they get through these kind of cycles of abuse and not allow it to be done to you. And sometimes you make a decision to unfriend or unfollow. And that's a different kind of energy. When you block someone. That intention, that motivation is aggressive. It comes from the lower vibration. To unfollow simply means like, okay, your friend's in town, and every time they're in town, they're going to inadvertently, whether they mean to or not, they're going to show you, hey, I'm next door. I'm just not reaching out to you. You can choose to protect your energy. And it's like, okay, I don't want to be hurt by that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see what's going on in your life when you're going to be passive aggressive and vicious in a passive aggressive way. And if you're not at that person's not at that vibrational level to understand that and reach out to you and say, you know what, or be self-aware, gotta let them go. But if their response is to block back, and they're in that loop of abuse, and they're not gonna ascend until they figure that out. And they have their own lessons to learn. You just gotta send people off with love and, hope that, they can vibrate back into your space, into your realm. And if not, they weren't meant to. Their time has ended. But you are supposed to protect your energy. You are supposed to be a source of love. You are supposed to be higher minded, and you stay there and you protect your energy, and you always look to better yourself and to be the best version of yourself, and be a source of love, and be a source of positivity, and be a source of, just being self-aware, and always looking at yourself, not the other person all the time. What do they do? What do they do? And, people who are caught in karmic loops always see themselves as a victim, always project the person doing things to them personally, when sometimes it's not personal. It's your projection. And you're not understanding the other person's journey or the other person's decisions, and you don't care to find out. You react. You're caught in the loop. Those who are caught in lower vibrational energies and emotions, you gotta let them. Who knows, what's gonna happen? But New Earth, those lower vibrational energies, if they defeat people in your life, then it is what it is. You gotta let people live and make the decisions and do what they do, and wish them the best. But when you vibrate up, it goes like this. There's few people up here. a lot of people down here, but there's few people up here. And, you have to painfully go on that journey, and you have to keep monitoring your energy. It's all about energy and frequency and mind. And keep your thoughts clear, keep your thoughts pure, not have negativity, not harbor bad thoughts, not harbor bad projections, not do things in a sense of, with a spirit of anger. Do things sometimes with a sense of self-protection. Listen, you know what? This person's inadvertently, whether they mean to or not, this person's inadvertently vicious. And, it's mean. To have a relationship with someone that comes to your town, every time they come to town, they don't want to make amends. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want this, like, okay, but you're going to show me that. Well, I choose not to see that. I don't want to send an attack. It's not about being attacked. That's not my spirit. That's not my intention. But if they fire back, that's where they're at. But anyway, I digress. I wanted to just jump in here and talk about a variety of things and really just address a lot of the things that are coming down the pike. Energetically, I'm going to do another video about the diet. I just saw something today. There's a lot of stuff coming at us because we're in a very special time. We're in a very special time. And I was talking to someone else about this. And the person always tells me, like, I've had it here. I'm ready to go. And I'm like, well, I actually think this is an exciting time to be alive. And it's fulfilling a purpose. This is a very exciting time. This is a time we're in a shift. And the game is intense. The game is intense because there's a lot that is happening. And the people who have been in control and power for so long are losing it. So things are going to get a little crazy. There's going to be rumors of war and things going on. There's going to be economic warfare. There's going to be shortages in this. There's going to be food attacks. They're really attacking us from all sides. They're still spraying the skies. There's so many things that they're doing. And there's things that we can do to counterattack and to vibrate, to co-create a different reality. They're afraid of too many of us co-creating something that they can't control. And we're en route to that. And that's why it's important to protect your energy. Those who are rolling around in lower frequencies, it's like, okay, when you have people who are high vibrational source players, sometimes when you expect them to handle things the way at the level that you would, it's not that they're hopeless. It's not that all is lost for them, but you have to realize spiritually and vibrationally, they're in the 4th grade and you're about to graduate high school. You're not better than them. You're not, they don't know how to deal with things. When it comes to, and we all have our crutches. There's things about me, like there's some things that will set me off that might not set that person off. And they'll behave better in certain situations than I would, vice versa. But vibrationally, some people are not ready to step up to certain challenges, to deal with, relationships and handle them from a higher mind. We have to do that with every aspect of our lives. But we're getting to the point where we're all going to get tested. We're going to get tested like we've never been tested before. And we're going to get messages. We're going to get instructions from people who are carrying the light and carrying the messages that you need to hear. And some of us are going to be at a vibrational place to receive the message and make the necessary changes. And some won't. And those who won't, some people are going to be, and so some people are going to be recycled into, it is what it is. But for those who really want to co-create a better world, heed the messages. I'm going to do a video about diet. I'm going to do a video about a lot of different things. I'm still going to get to, talking with different guests. I've been putting that off because like I said in the beginning of the video, I didn't want to go there yet. Wasn't ready to do that and just share and be open and balanced, when there's stuff I have to meditate and work through. And I've been doing meditation and spiritual work, and sometimes those downloads come to you. They show you what's going on with this person that you're at odds with. Oh, they're stuck in something. You got to let them go and hope they can, if you care about them, maybe they'll level back up into your life or not, but be prepared for either scenario, but not leak negative. Don't go toxic. Don't go down. But yeah, a lot of people hear messages of truth and they spit it out. You tell people about fluoride in the water. You tell people about this. You tell people like that about that. They process it and they spit it out. If people are not ready to hear the message, you did your job. Just keep it moving and just hope that you eventually merge with people who are ready to go up here. Well, that's all for this video. I wish everybody health, strength, and just stay high in this environment. Things are going to get rough, but things will be fine when you're spiritually and vibrationally in the right place and you're guided. You will be guided and protected. All right. That's it for now. Everybody have a wonderful day. See you in the next one.